Hi guys, it's Gareth here from True Spiritual Awakening. Today I'm going to talk about a series of events that's been happening, and I'm going to. So I tried to make this video already a number of times, and each time I made it, I tried to upload it, and there was problems. Um, Errors with the video, second video had no sound, and I took it as a sign of not to make this video. Now, what I'm going to say is that I'll explain first what has happened or what has been revealed to me, and then I'll explain why I got the prompting not to make this video and why I'm making this video now. So if you haven't yet watched it, a couple of maybe 2 months ago, I made a video about a series of past lives that were revealed to me over a space of a week or so. Um, and if you haven't watched that, go and watch that one first. I'm going to put a link below. That's pretty important, and how that links into what happened. At the start of this week and the week before um, is, and how I know that they're related is there was an emotional connection, like a signature that these series of events carried with them, and um, and what that was almost like a deep connection and longing, and in the series of past lives, when I came out of the visions, they were in lucid dreams as I was coming out of sleep in the morning times. Each one, there was three of them, and they all happened as I was coming out of sleep. I became lucid in these dreams, and I was shown these previous lives. And as I would come out of them, there was emotion, and I was very upset, and and what happened in the last week and the week before was that I was shown my life in between lives, and some stuff was explained to me there. I was shown what happens there. Now I went to make these videos already, and I came up with resistance. As I say, something happened. First video, there was something missing. Second video, the sound was missing. So I sort of took it as a sign that there was something in the videos that were not to be revealed to on YouTube and made public. So what I'll do is I'm going to try and make it again. And if it's a thing you're watching it, I'm going to take certain things out that I feel could be the reason why the video wasn't to be posted. So basically, I became lucid, and I became lucid in a reality that wasn't your typical dream. Normally, when I dream, it's in this reality. It's your dreams are about humans. Everything's around the earth, how everything normal stuff. These weren't. These were somewhere else. These were on some sort of astral plane. Now, I have a feeling that it was the supramental plane. Everything was a sort of a blue, different shades of blue. There was structures there, but I'm just going to describe as best as I can. So here, everything, there's a lot of detail here. There's a lot of, like, everything is 3D spaciousness. We can go right up to stuff and see it in detail. Here there wasn't a whole lot of detail. Structures were just blue, rectangular, different shades, almost like an oil. So if someone had painted an oil painting, and there was beings there, and the beings seemed very two-dimensional, and they had strange kind of small little heads and blue um, with not a lot of detail, almost, and they almost glided along, and they didn't use um, they didn't use language, and they weren't human. Well, they did use a sort of language, so but mainly it was telepathy. So any of the messages that I was getting, they were just being sent to me, and it just kind of an understanding comes. So while I was there, I was told that this was a life that I had in between lives. When I wasn't human, this is where I reside, and I take on certain missions, or um, I take on a particular um, role, or something that I want to come or resolve, and I come to Earth to resolve it, and that's what was shown to me. And there are people who are close to me who live there. So I have family. I don't know if family has the same meaning as family here. I get, it's not biological family, but family and friends who reside here. And I was shown that there are beings that people know about. Now, in when I went to make the other video, I named them, so I'm not going to name them in this, but they also reside here, and they have an influence uh, on helping the world. And I, as far as I can tell, and this is just an assumption, is that not all humans reside here in between lives. A lot of humans in between, there is no in between lives. They die, they come straight back in. They don't seem to get a choice. Now, the more your consciousness evolves, um, the more you have time in between lives to talk about stuff and work stuff out, and to agree to come back in. So this is what I get the feeling this place is. This place was a place that is closely related to Earth, or our reality here, and they somehow have an influence. They want to help. They send beings in to help, and I reside here in between my lives. And when I came out, when the lucid dream started to fade, I came out, and I had this deep emotional, um, almost like something had been ripped from me. Like I missed my family. I knew I came from there. I had friends there, and it just was painful. And it had the same signature, the emotional signature that the previous lives had, and that's how I knew it was related. It was one of them. Uh, it wasn't just some random, you know, vision or dream. This was very much something that was being revealed to me. Now, a couple of days went on. I was doing sessions, and in the sessions, I started to have visions of Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Two occasions, they both appeared to me above my head, sat in their chairs, and they were kind of in some sort of a temple. Now, in my previous life, I was shown that I was a devotee of the mother, and I lived in the ashram um, with her for a number of years, and that my next life, which is this life, was that I was going to bring the supramental force to the West, and that was the purpose of me coming here. Now, being here, being having to see this place in between lives, I'm not a human in between lives. They're different. They're not humanoid. They're beings, but they're not humanoids like, we have a typical body. And actually, funny enough, I did come across a painting that resembled what I had seen. Um, but I'm not going to get into that in too much. So I then, during the week, I started to have visions of Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Um, Couple of days, maybe about a week later, 6 days later, I again woke up in the same reality. And this time they explained to me what goes on and how it works, and they explained all about how we choose to come here. So we're given a goal or a mission that we want to accomplish, we want to work on, okay? And their time is very different to how it is here. So while you're there and you get the opportunity to come here, time is only a fraction of what it is here. So if you're to look at a typical life here of 80 or 90 years, in that reality, it's 20 minutes. And they showed me almost like this booth that you can walk up to, and almost like you can like now this isn't what it was, but it was almost like a VR headset that you can put your face up against. And as soon as you do that, like, it seems like a really good idea while you're there because it's only 20 minutes. What, 20 minutes? And but as soon as you put the headset on, you forget. You're veiled. You descend down into creation, and you forget everything. And you have to then spend years and years. Now, you have no memory of where you came from. When you come back in, all your memories are wiped clean. But what you do come in with is the quality of consciousness that you had um, from previous lives. And that's where you start off with. So that quality of consciousness is ingrained in you. It's what you are. And so that then, while you're starting to grow up and go through school and your teenage years, no matter where you are, you will always have that quality of where you left off in the last life. That's brought in, but you don't have the memories. You can't remember the previous lives. You don't know about the life in between lives where you descended in. So they showed that to me, and they showed me how easy it is, and how not a big a deal it is to agree to come here. And I kind of got the feeling that it was like, oh, how did I fall for this again? It's like, while you're there, it's not a big deal, and and when you come here, then it's like you have to start and you have to go. So, like, it's taken me years to get to this stage where I have this recollection of what I had attained in previous lives and where I had come from before I came into this life. So it was almost like, oh, come on, I didn't fall for this again. But again, this same, they all had the same signature to them. And it was almost like, oh, I miss my family, I miss my friends there. And I have to come here and I have to slog it out, and uh, go through all the stuff that we do here. And that was kind of, and one of the things I remember just after coming out was that, ah, like, it's not that big a deal here. It's kind of like, this reality is, even though it seems so real and so important, and everything is consequences, and but it's not that important. It really isn't. When you can see the bigger picture, you you realize that, it's just, even after death, it's almost like this life will fade like a dream. You will become aware in that other reality, and this will just start to fade like a memory. And that was sort of the the bigger picture that was revealed to me with this series of um, lives, between lives, that I was lucky enough to um, to have revealed. I also was kind of, now, one of the things that I left out was, what in the first time I went there, they revealed to me that the mantras So if you're in my group, you'll know that a lot of us are doing these different mantras, the Sri Vidya mantras, and it's just kind of come naturally. None of us have kind of really known why we're doing them, but we're doing them. But the mantras seem to be really important there, and they did show me these. They while I was there, the mantras were playing in my head. I'm initiated into the Mahashadasi mantra, and I, Om Shreem Hreem Kleem, and this was going in my head, and they were showing me, and they actually had them written down on some sort of uh, obviously wasn't paper, but they had it written down on something, and they were saying how important the streams were, and somehow that this was very important to them there on that level, and that it was very important for us to say them. Um, and yeah, so that was revealed. That was one thing that I had left out. I also got these kind of feelings that certain beings that are on the planet at the moment come from this place. I don't want to reveal that because I get the feeling that that's what they didn't want me talking about. And I also knew that a friend of mine, possibly two friends of mine, also come from this place. And yeah, so there was stuff that I had mentioned in the last video, and that was the reason why I felt that they didn't want me to upload it. And let's hope that there's no problems with this one. And again, it's not something that I normally talk about, but again, I'm just being as honest and sharing everything, my journey as it goes along, and maybe it's of help to somebody who watches it. So again, thank you for watching my video. I shall speak to you soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.